Good evening, everyone. We do thank you for sticking with us tonight. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. It's the start of a busy night for firefighters as they face another round of extreme winds.
The anticipated winds, combined with low humidities and low fuel moistures, will keep the fire threat in all of Los Angeles County critical.
Those high winds are expected to reach up to 70 miles per hour starting tomorrow and into Wednesday.
Those new red flag warnings are in place for much of LA and Ventura County, and these conditions could sadly expand the wildfire still burning across the area. At least 24 people have died and more than a dozen are still missing. The Palisades Fire has burned more than 23,000 acres, destroying nearly 5,000 structures. And the Eaton Fire has burned more than 14,000 acres and destroyed more than 7,000 structures. President Biden is promising full federal support.
I'm continuing to direct the federal government to do everything possible, everything it possibly can to help California.
Officials say strike teams are pre-positioned across high-risk areas ready to respond, but with new red flag warnings and the grounding of firefighting aircraft because of dangerous winds, the days ahead will be a challenge.
Nearly 40 members of the Sacramento area search and rescue team were deployed to help in Southern California. Sacramento Fire says these highly specialized individuals and canines will work tirelessly to search for victims. More than a dozen people are missing in LA County as the fires continue to burn. And Monica, this as more winds are starting to hit Southern California again.
Right. We're going to see those pick up overnight tonight through tomorrow with our high wind warning going into effect. That will take us all the way through Wednesday at noon. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. Of course, the impacts will be the potential for power outages as well as more fire danger. As we can see, our red flag warning expanding north of Santa Barbara all the way to the border through San Diego. So gusts up to 70 miles per hour. We're talking about extreme fire behavior. We saw a similar situation last week, which will be called a particularly dangerous situation. That's because of critically dry weather, the gusty winds, and we've already got some fires burning. So we're going to once again see that what's called PDS situation for our red flag warning, and that will last all the way through Wednesday at 6 p.m. Winds right now are roughly about 30 miles per hour near Malibu. Offshore winds will continue due to this setup. High pressure ridge over the west and our low settling into the Great Basin. Today we saw some wind gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour locally. They've since calmed, and that's going to bring us into a very cool night ahead. Lows will be dropping down into the 30s. We'll talk about the continuation of this dry stretch of weather.
Sounds good, Monica. Thank you. Governor Gavin Newsom announced he's expanding the scope of his special legislative session to, quote, Trump-proof the state to now include wildfire response and recovery.
He's asking lawmakers to shore up $2.5 billion in funding for LA to support recovery, cleaning, preparedness, and reopening schools. Before the announcement, Assembly Minority Leader James Gallagher says Newsom should get rid of the Trump-proof aspect altogether. Lawmakers are planning to allocate $50 million for a legal defense fund in anticipation of lawsuits with the Trump administration.
This special session was ridiculous to begin with, but especially now with the wildfires that we're experiencing here in California, the impending insurance crisis.
Governor Newsom sent a letter to President-elect Trump asking him to tour L.A. No update yet on if a visit will happen soon.
While visiting an evacuation center in L.A. near the Palisades Fire, Senator Adam Schiff addressed concerns about the state-run FAIR plan and the possibility that it could collapse as a result of the fires. Keep in mind the insurance plan is often seen as a last resort. Take a listen.
Those in it get the help that's guaranteed under that program. We'll do whatever's necessary. We're going to also have to address the broader insurance crisis that has forced people into the FAIR plan.
Federal aid for California could face obstacles after House Speaker Mike Johnson was asked today if he's open to sending more funding.
I think there should probably be conditions on that aid. That's my personal view. We'll see what the consensus is. I haven't had a chance to.
Johnson blames California's leadership for the current wildfire crisis. He also hinted there is some talk within the Republican Party to tie any aid to the debt limit increase. And for continued coverage of the wildfires, head over to the ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. We have live updates and our in-depth reports into California's fires and their impact on the home insurance crisis. Download the free ABC 10 Plus TV app wherever you stream.